Yeah! I love being a turtle!
Welcome back to my channel, guys. My name is John Deak. My channel is called John Deak Toy Reviews and More. And today I'm gonna show you guys a small pizza box. Yeah, there it is. So actually, I'm just kidding. I am going to show you all 4 of the NECA turtles all together. The family is together at last. The brothers are united. And are you guys ready? Dun, 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 dun. There they are. The NECA family has completed the 1990 Turtles movie version, quarter scale. They're right here, right in front of us. And I'm actually gonna go over each and every difference and compare them all for you guys so you can see them right here in person. But there you have it, all 4 of them together at last. I'm super excited. Can't wait to put these guys up on my shelf. I love them. So let's get right into it. The first thing I want to show you guys are some of the exclusive accessories that came with these figures. Just a quick note, I'm not going to go over any of the hands with you guys because I've done it. If you're interested in learning about each hand that comes with each figure, check out my previous reviews for all 4 of these. They will be in the description box below. Also, I forgot to mention to you guys, Michelangelo, I'm giving him away. The information is in the description box below if you want to enter, okay, to win. You have to join 1/6 Society, which is a Facebook action figure group, because that's where we're going to announce the winner. And then you have to go to a special giveaway link and enter your email address, your name, and that's it. And you guys are signed up to win. So that's pretty awesome. Here are the 4 pizzas that come with the figures, okay? If you were to get 4 more pizzas, I am not entirely sure if it's going to form a perfect circle or not. But you got 4 slices of pizza. If the guys get hungry, they have something to eat. Then, let me just grab it here. The figures each came with an exclusive accessory with the exception of Raphael. He did not come with any exclusive accessory, unfortunately. But I want to go over each one that they came with. Donatello ended up coming with a can of ooze, which looks like this. It says radioactive, and it has a gash in it, which presumably is from Shredder. Then Leonardo came with another can of ooze, okay? Which was kind of disappointing, but hey, at least we got something, you know. This one in particular is molded differently. It does not have the gash in it. Sometimes these caps fall off. Just a quick note, if you guys want, just pop it back on. If you're super OCD about it, you can always glue it on, but putting it back on keeps it pretty stable. And Michelangelo came with something new, which is pretty darn awesome. He came with a little 1/4 scale bag of pork rinds, okay? You know, you guys know the pork rinds. I personally like them. Really nice detailed bag, fried pork rinds, a tasty but never wasty treat. And then on the back, it has the ingredients and the nutritional facts. How cool is that? That's all of the exclusive accessories that the guys came with. Let's just take another look at their weapons. Now, if you guys want, again, I gotta reiterate, if you want detailed, you know, descriptions of everything, you gotta watch my previous reviews for these guys. So we'll start off with the 2 swords, plastic. All of the Turtles accessories are plastic, okay? None of them are going to be, you know, metal, obviously. You know, this day and age, it's unless you're paying for high-end, really high-end collectibles, you're not getting metal. But here are the two swords that came with Leonardo. And again, the detail was just fantastic on these swords. They looked, you know, they look really great. And they're a little sharp, just be careful, you know, especially if you're giving this to a kid. You don't want them to hurt themselves. So these are the swords that came with Leo. Here is the staff that came with Donatello. And one thing that I want to note is the handles on the sword and the staff are plastic. None of this is wood, okay? So everything is entirely plastic, so don't expect to see anything metal or anything wood. But still, the detail is just, you know, fantastic. You're going to be able to tell right here that the, you know, the little straps here are molded in and so forth. I hope my camera's picking that up. Yeah. So that's the staff that came with Donatello. And here are the size are these types of weapons that came with Raphael. And you received 2 of them. Again, very pointy, but made of plastic. You know, again, the handles are all plastic, but weathered really nicely. And they look really cool when you put them in his hands. And finally, Michelangelo came with these 2 awesome nunchucks. Again, they're weathered. You're going to see black patches on them. They are plastic, and they're combined with a set of black thread, 2 black threads holding each one together. So you should be able to get some pretty cool poses out of these guys with their weapons. It's important for me to note, I'm not going to go over the articulation. I just want to show you guys a comparison between all of these figures. So again, if you want to see articulation, check out my other reviews, my individual reviews for each and every one of these guys. Just, they're on my channel. The first thing I want to go over are the bodies, okay? The shells, this shell, that shell, that shell, and that shell are all identical in size. The only difference between the shells are going to be how much each one is weathered. So this one here might be weathered a little bit differently than that one. This one's weathered a little differently. That one is going to be a little cleaner for Michelangelo, but all of the patterns and the molds are identical, okay? The size of the bodies, the height, the width, and the thickness of the legs are all identical for every one of these figures, okay? The same goes for their feet. All of the feet are identical. There is not any difference as far as the molds go for the legs, for the feet, and so forth. They're all going to be the same. Now, what might make them look a little bit different is the shadowing and the spots. You're going to notice that Leonardo has different spots than Raphael, and then Raphael has different spots than Donatello, and then Michelangelo has a little less spots than the rest of the guys. Now also you're going to notice some more shadowing in here with the paint. Same goes over here. Different levels of shadowing for every single one, but not that much different. I mean, for the most part, unless you're really going to stare at these guys like I have for a long time, you know, you're not going to be able to pick it apart, okay? The legs are all identical. They're all going to have the veins in the same places and so forth. Same goes for the knee pads. All of the knee pads, all of the elbow pads are all identical, okay? Same goes for the wrist bracelets, okay? They're all going to be identical. Now, there is some differences, and I'm going to show you guys really quickly here. Let me just get these guys angled without having them fall, of course. There is going to be some slight differences with some of the arms, okay? And I'm going to try my best to go over that with you guys. There are 2 sets of arms here, believe it or not, okay? The Donatello figure, the Raphael figure, they each have the same identical sculpted arms as you're gonna be able to see right now, okay? They're all sculpted exactly the same. And again, you're going to just see, you know, a difference in spots and shading for the paint. But here it's gonna come down, here it's gonna come down, and they are identical. Now, when we move over to Leonardo and Michelangelo, they actually ended up using different sculpted arms for these guys, okay? Meaning that Leonardo's arms and Michelangelo's arms are identical, okay? And again, you're just going to notice that the spots are a little different, the veins are a little different. You're gonna notice that the spots are different and that the shading is different, okay? But Leonardo and Michelangelo both have the same identical arms. One more time, Leonardo, Michelangelo, same arms. Raphael, Donatello, same arms. The legs for all four of them are the same. The front of the shells for all four of them are the same. What I want to do now is I want to turn each and every one around. I'll try to do this on camera so they don't fall, so we can take a look at each of their shells, okay? Because there are some differences in the shells for the turtles, okay? Let me make sure I got a good shot here of all the shells. All right, and there we have all of the shells, okay? Now, the patterns for all of the shells are going to be the same. So you're all going to have these swirls in each of the shells, okay? Now, as far as I can tell, here, there are only two figures here that have different shells, okay? The first one is going to be Raphael, okay? He is going to have some scratch marks, as you can see right here in his shell. At the top and towards the middle, you're gonna see, and the sides, you're gonna see these scratch marks. As far as the mold goes, the only one I believe has a different mold would be Leonardo, because he has the holder for his swords on his back. And what you're gonna notice is this. If I turn both these guys sideways, okay, and kind of try to get both of the shells in camera view, you're gonna notice that Leonardo's shell, the rear shell, is nice and rounded, versus Raphael's has a curvature that comes out and goes down. So that is telling me that number one, it's a different mold, it's pretty obvious, and number two is that Leonardo's shell is slightly thinner than the other shells. Now, if I take Leonardo and Raphael out of the picture, I can't tell a difference between these two shells. The patterns are the same for the most part. They all have the swirls in them. Now, as far as the way the patterns are laid out, they're gonna be different. You're gonna notice that these little kind of, I believe they're called hexagons, are a little bit different. They're smaller, versus these are much larger. And you're also gonna notice down here, it has a larger shape, versus down here, he's got, you know, a different, you know, sculpted shape. Let's take a look at the most obvious differences in these figures, which would be the head sculpt. So here you're gonna have Michelangelo. He's got the orange bandana showing a little bit of his tongue, a little bit of his teeth. He's also got the orange fabric. Then you're gonna have Donatello. He's got the purple bandana, the purple fabric, and then he's sort of got his mouth closed. And then you're gonna have Raphael. He's got the red bandana, and again, he just sort of has a neutral look. You know, of course, all of them have different spots. And then finally, you're going to have Leonardo, which sort of has more of a, you know, a serious look to him, and again, different spots. The last difference that I can see is going to be the straps. So Leonardo has a couple straps that go across his chest, then also around the midsection of his shell. Then Raphael just has the bottom section of his shell, and Donatello is going to have the strap that goes over his shoulder and above his chest. And then again, you're going to have Michelangelo, which has the strap going towards the bottom of his shell. Now, each of the straps, as you guys can see, you know, have a slightly different weathering pattern to them. You know, some are weathered more than others, and then they also have different, you know, patterns on the actual shell themselves, as you guys are able to see. And of course, finish off with Leonardo. Final thoughts. What do I think of these figures? I love them. I think it's a fantastic set of figures. Like I said in my Michelangelo review, if there was an award for action figures, NECA should win one. The head sculpts are awesome. I mean, each one is just has so much expression, and they look like somebody grabbed these guys out of the movie. All of the cool weapons they have, the amazing articulation that they have. I think that this is just an absolute home run from NECA. That is the comparison of all 4 of the NECA Turtles. Remember, I am giving away Michelangelo. The link will be in the description box below, how to enter. The winner will be announced in 1/6 Society's you know, Facebook group, which is a figure group. Guys, if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Click that notifications button so you get an email or a text message every time I upload a new video. Make sure you smash that like button for me. Let me know that what I'm doing, you guys like it. Until next time, I will catch you guys at the next video.